So let's see, we've been to Centennial Park, we've been to Ben Butterworth Park. Let's head there to Rock Island and Schwiebert Park, and Andrew Stutzke, our meteorologist, who's staying away from the really wet sprays that are there right now.
Yeah, so we've got the rain falling. Obviously, this park a lot quieter than it was, say, just a couple of hours ago, but no doubt by this time tomorrow, this is going to be a very popular place. Now, in addition to cooling off here at Schwiebert Park with the splash pad, you'll want to make sure you're not taking it too strenuous in terms of your outdoor activity tomorrow, and I want to show you why, how this heat could potentially impact your body should you be working or even exercising outside. So taking Friday as an example, going to be the hottest day of the week with a high of 99, the heat index up to 112. You can really start to see some adverse effects in as little as 20 minutes. Your body temperature could actually raise to 100 degrees. That will set in what we call hyperthermia, the exact opposite of hypothermia. We get excessive sweating, some severe thirst, and also your skin becomes quite flushed. Within 60 minutes, your internal body temperature can actually climb to 106 degrees, and that's when we consider things to be life-threatening. That's when you need to seek immediate medical attention, and you can even cause organ damage as your brain and other organs inside you begin to swell. So some serious heat having some serious consequences. Believe it or not, the heat is actually the #1 weather-related killer in the United States. Taking the 33 average, 150 people have been killed by the extreme heat. So when it comes to these upcoming hotter temperatures in the next couple of days, take the warning seriously, use common sense, stay hydrated and stay cool, especially taking frequent breaks if you need to be outside. Reporting live in Rock Island, Andrew Stutzke, WQAD News 8.
I'm not a doctor, but you should jump into one of those splashy things. Come on, you need to cool off, Andrew. Jump into one. I love that guy. Andrew Stutzke reporting live in Rock Island.
And stormy skies for some of us today. Big thanks to Tad Miesenheimer for sending in this picture from Princeton this afternoon, showing some of those rain clouds moving in at times. There is more widespread rain finally in the forecast. Time out when that will arrive and how much longer we're going to have to wait for the next one should you miss out. That accurate forecast is next.
Nature's way, right? We're just going to keep seeing monster carp in the rivers.
I think so. You know, that fish reminds me of what I feel like when I get out of Chick-fil-A. Most nights it's just like, too full.
Or whenever our producer Matt cooks dinner for everybody.
I know, just like tonight, it smelled amazing.
It's hard to resist.
Food everywhere, and I got to tell you, food outside today too, especially if you were out and about participating in the Bix. It was a beautiful day overall. We had a couple of showers, a quick rumble of thunder, but that left us with a beautiful sunset that I got to thank our storm chaser Corey Marshall in Galesburg for sending it into us. A beautiful color. Just a gorgeous end to an overall nice Saturday. A little bit of humidity on tap, but nothing we can't handle, especially after last week's humidity. Nothing compared to that. A couple of isolated showers have popped up in the last hour, but otherwise the radar is clear, and I think it will stay that way as we head through the overnight. Now, as we get into tomorrow morning, things are quiet. We keep that south wind intact, which means the humidity and the warmth is going to be back on track tomorrow. And within that instability, we could pop another isolated storm in the afternoon, just like we did today. However, the better chance for rain, the more widespread needed rain, that's going to be arriving once we get past midnight tomorrow. Getting into Monday morning, there you can see a good batch of some showers and thunderstorms. Finally, something we have not seen in days, needed rainfall knocking on our doorstep for Monday morning. That activity will continue through about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then as a front kicks through, that will end the chances for rain, especially as we get in the afternoon. We'll get a refreshing breeze out of the northwest that will cut down on the humidity and also cut down on temperatures too, giving us a comfortable night for Monday night. How much rain are we expecting? Well, generally speaking, I think about 1/4 of an inch for most of us. Should you manage to get under a thunderstorm, perhaps closer to 1/2 an inch. But the good news is this rainfall is at least a little bit more widespread, not nearly as scattered or isolated compared to what we've had in days past. Now, you may be wondering why I keep saying we need rainfall when we're at an 8-inch surplus for the year thanks to the heavy spring rain. Well, let's go back to April. Look at the ground completely full of water. It was saturated. That's why we had so much flooding. However, as we got through the months of May, June, and even now July, the sun's energy really doing a number. It's the strongest energy we get from the sun the entire year. And what that does is it works towards evaporating a ton of that excess water. So as we've gone through June and July, we've watched that water level really decrease. So our topsoil is what's been drying out dramatically over the last several weeks. In fact, if you look at the 8-inch soil moisture that I plotted here, going from May well above normal all the way to now, we're practically in a drought because we have not had some short-term rain. We've had very prolonged periods of rain where we have these big breaks in between them. So certainly isn't helping things, and that's why we need the rain right now. That topsoil is just so dry. 79 degrees right now in our Mid-American Energy Eagle Eye. It feels like 81. South winds continuing right now. That's going to keep us fairly warm and muggy for the overnight hours, only going down to 71. A chance of an isolated storm will keep that storm chance even as we go through our Sunday, getting back into the low 90s. Heat index values likely in the middle 90s. The next 8 days, less humidity by Tuesday, a really comfortable stretch of weather for the middle of the week, and then we'll warm things back up. But notice the lack of rain. If you don't get it tomorrow night, you'll once again have to wait several more days, likely until next weekend. A little bit more active for week 2, and it looks like we'll be a little bit warmer too as we head for the 90s once again. Our 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by Erickson Chevrolet in Milan. James having an excellent forecast yesterday, getting it right on the board, $460 to Speedway Fire Rescue.
Definitely need some of that rain for my own yard. It's like a desert right now.
It looks very brown, so hopefully tomorrow night, fingers crossed.
Get a little water in there.
Yep.
Thank you, Andrew.